Now, we're going to talk about the pelvic floor shortly. So let's talk a little bit about that. And that's what Neha's here to talk about. I mean, gosh, pelvic floor issues, I think a lot of us think, oh, they only affect you during pregnancy. And then it's a bit of a surprise when actually that's another menopause symptom, menopause problem, and it can affect libido as well.
Yeah, and I think, I mean, libido particularly, it's kind of the taboo within the taboo, isn't it? It's something we're even less confident to talk about, but it can have a massive hit to us during menopause because of all of the symptoms we've been talking about. And I think with the pelvic floor, again, it's the estrogen. Right. You know, so it's that fluctuation, and also just the muscle loss that can occur as we age.
You don't think about that muscle, do you? Because we think about our body, our external body muscles, and maybe try and work on those. We never think about that. No. Well, I don't. And
I think the encouraging thing is you can address it. So with pelvic floor, like with so many things we're talking about today, there are things you can do to improve the condition.
Because apparently 25% of us can expect pelvic floor issues
across their lifetime. Yeah, exactly. And again, like you say, many of us, I think, probably do associate it with pregnancy. And we don't think about it as something we should all be doing, actually, in order to stay well.
I'm really guilty of neglecting it, because I think partly because I haven't had children. I think you guys have all had children, haven't you? So you kind of maybe a bit more aware of it. I've really neglected it, and I need to think about it.
I think even if you had children, you still neglect it.
Do you?
I think, yeah, you do.
Good, that makes me feel better.
No, honestly, it's not just you. You definitely all do. But it's that whole thing of just, you know, having a coughing or a sneezing moment that literally
and then you literally just
a real worry, and you're suddenly thinking, oh my goodness, what am I going to do? Because it can happen, and so having tools, maybe knowing that it isn't too late, is quite encouraging to me.
Yeah, I mean, well, do you know what? We've got something that can help. Now, Neha is here, and I mean, you're all about nutrition and everything, but you're also generally about wellness and health, and this is something really important. So Neha has brought us something from TensCare, and it's called the Elise II and Fleur Toning Balls. So you've basically got a little exerciser and a set of toning balls for the pelvic floor. £94.92 is your price. You've got 3 months at £31.64, and yes, your 60-day money-back guarantee. We know where we're going to be putting this, everyone. We know where this is going to go, but you still can return it under our 60-day money-back guarantee, so don't worry about that. If you get it home and it's not for you, then you can still return it to us, so don't panic about that.
Yeah.
So let's talk about this. So it's a muscle, basically, that we need to exercise, Neha.
Absolutely, and you know, it's so great that we're able to talk openly about it, because you know, we've got all the creams, and we've got fantastic clothes, etc., but often it's very limiting for women, because you know, if you're wearing something very light coloured, particularly in the menopause, and then you're having a leak, how are you then supposed to, you know, you have to change your wardrobe quite quickly, don't you? And even activities that you do. So with the pelvic floor, just like any other muscle in our body, we can exercise it, we can improve how it flows. And so this is what the Elise II does. And there's two forms of incontinence. We've got a stress incontinence and urge incontinence. And what we do with our Elise machine, it's a nice rechargeable machine that we can use. And it's got a probe, so it's got 4 different settings, really easy to use, because the last thing you want to be doing is using a machine that you're thinking, goodness me, what setting do I do? And I've just got 20 minutes to myself now, you know, I want to get this right. So we've made it very simple to use. So the first setting we've got is the stress setting. So that's to help with things like if you're coughing, or if you sneeze and you feel a leak, or you know, you're on a trampoline with the kids. And I hear it time and time again in clinic.
Trampoline is a big thing. I keep hearing people
literally, trampoline is not your friend.
You know, and you want to be able to have fun, don't you? You want to be able to go and do all these things with the family, the kids, the friends. And so it's those, you know, that's what we call the stress incontinence. Then we've got the urge incontinence, where, you know, that's the bladder weakness.
So when you need to go to the loo and you can't kind of hold it, is that what you mean by that?
Yeah, and so what the Elise II does, it helps you to target the areas of the pelvic floor muscle, so that you're penetrating just those parts. Because we're told to do our Kegel exercises, aren't we? But often women don't know how to
we don't know how, and we don't know if we're doing it right. Exactly. We've got a little animation we're going to show you actually about how this works. So you insert the probe like you would a tampon.
Exactly like a tampon, absolutely.
And we're looking at this here, Neha, we can just see how it works then. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's stainless steel on either side, so you would insert like a tampon.
Yeah.
And we've got, you know, water-based lubricant gels that can help to ease, put that in. And you would just, for 20 minutes a day for about a month.
And it just does its thing inside, and it kind of does. And do you have to do anything yourself, or is it doing the work?
You just have to insert, relax,
and just sit there. That's
and
kind of nice.
And it's
all right.
And how often do we get a chance to do that?
So that exercise is for you. It exercises
the pelvic floor muscles.
That's
for you.
amazing.
Yes.
Watching TV.
You could just sit there.
Well, you can have 20 minutes yourself, and you know that you can be left alone
what
for
does
those
it
20
feel
minutes.
like? Does it hurt?
We use an EMS technology, which means the electrical muscle stimulation. So it's very, very minute pulses.
So can you just feel a little? You can't feel them.
No, you can just feel a draw up of your muscles.
Okay.
So it's not abrasive anyway. It's not going to hurt you.
Yeah.
It just helps to target those muscles more deeply than you would just sort of doing it on its own Kegel exercise, for example.
Okay. Really quickly, and we'll show you the other bit in a second, because you get, so that's your little exerciser, and then we've got the toning balls as well, which we'll show you in a second. By the way, don't use this when you're pregnant or have a pacemaker, obviously the usual precautions that you would with something like this. Don't use it for 6 weeks after surgery or giving birth either. And obviously if you've got any issues or concerns, obviously consult your doctor. So there's two parts to this. You also get the toning balls. Now how does this differ?
So these are the toning balls, and they come in a lovely little kit.
Nice little box.
A nice little box.
Okay.
So these are weighted.
Yep.
So you would insert these as you would a tampon.
Okay.
One by one. But you can keep these in for a maximum of an hour.
So you can just walk around with those, and that almost gets your muscles used to.
So it uses you can't really hear the sound of the actual weight moving about, but it does make a slight little noise, which nobody can hear. No one can hear that you've got it.
Where's that noise coming from?
Totally safe. But it's that as you're sort of drawing up and contracting the muscle, the weight will move up. And so it just very slightly exercises and gently exercises your pelvic floor muscles. But great to use in conjunction with the Elise.
How often would we use both of these is the question.
So the Elise you would use for 20 minutes a day for about a month to start building up the pelvic floor muscles.
So just while you're sitting down, relaxing, whatever?
Yeah, so preferably when you're lying down, it's sort of lying down in bed and relaxing, or if you're on your own, depending on where you want to, when to use it.
Yeah.
And so and then you have a maintenance program, which is the fourth setting.
And the instructions
which
come
is like
with it,
twice
obviously.
a week. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's targeting those areas, because it's so limiting for women. I hear women in clinic coming up to me all the time, and whether you've had children or not, your pelvic floor muscles do take a bashing.
It can also help with the libido thing.
It helps
with the intimate life.
It does, indeed.
Which is always a bonus,
always
ladies.
a bonus.
Always a bonus. Right, now we are